Hey, what's going on? I'm Mike, and in this episode of Smart Simple Digital, I'm going to share a few things that you can do with an old cell phone and how you can put it back to good use. So maybe you're thinking about upgrading to a new iPhone or a new Android, both good choices, but what normally happens once we upgrade to a new phone is that our old phones end up getting tossed aside someplace where they collect dust and they never get used again. But it doesn't have to be that way. So here are 5 things that you can do with your old phone instead. Number 1, sell it or trade it. So while you may think of your old phone as being a useless model of the past, it's very possible that that phone might actually be a very hot commodity in some other region of the country or some other part of the world. So take a look on sites like eBay or other online marketplaces and see if your particular model is still in high demand. And if you see it being sold or auctioned at prices that are pretty good, pretty favorable to you, then you might want to consider starting an auction of your own or putting it for sale someplace. If you don't want to go through the hassle of putting it for sale, putting it up for auction, and having to wait for a buyer to come through, then there are some companies that you can go through. Some companies who specialize in buying electronics, and they'll give you an instant quote and offer you either cash or a credit that you can use to buy a new device. So check out companies like Gazelle. I know Best Buy, the store Best Buy, they do that. And also most of the major US cell providers have some type of trade-in program as well. So check with your cell provider about that as well. And you might be able to get not instant, but you might be able to get some type of cash benefit or credit for your old phone. Number 3, backup. Use your phone as a backup. While phones these days are becoming more and more advanced, they also seem to be very prone to damage and malfunction. Just the wrong move, the wrong slip of your hand or something like that, and you can end up dropping your phone and completely shattering the screen, or you can do something else that just renders your phone just completely unresponsive and useless. And when something like that happens, it's always good to have a second phone or an extra phone on deck that you can use as a backup while your primary phone is being replaced or repaired. So if you intend on using an old phone as a backup, I would first recommend that you charge it up. So charge the battery up to anywhere between 50 to 70%. You don't want to charge it all the way to 100% because when you store it away for a long time, it may harm the battery. Once you get it charged properly, like I said, 50 to 70%, then just power it off and store it in a cool, dry place along with the charger. And when you ever need to use it as a backup, you can just pull it out, power it on. You might need to contact your cell provider to reactivate it, but you should be good to go. Number 4, experiment with it. So if you're more on the tech savvy and adventurous side, an old cell phone can be a great sandbox that you can use to test new apps and operating systems. And if you're really compelled and you really want to go a step further, then you can. Old phone is great to. You can really dig into that phone and really explore its hidden capabilities. If you're interested in doing that, I would suggest that you do a Google search on jailbreaking and rooting. And but be warned, if you decide to do either of those things to your iPhone or Android device in particular, be warned that may void your phone's warranty. Number 5, preserve and protect your data. I don't care if you decide to sell your phone, donate it, experiment with it. Make sure that number 1, you take some steps to back up all of the data on that phone, or just back up the data that's most important to you so you can have a copy of it. Whether that's your photos, your messages, your app data. Do something to protect and preserve the data that's important to you so you don't lose it. I have a video on that too, so you can take a look at that to learn more about backing up a smartphone. Number 2, make sure that you erase all of your personal data, or actually make sure you erase all of the data on your phone in its entirety. And that's really important if you intend to sell your phone, or if you intend to donate it or just give it to someone else. You know, make sure that you erase all the data so that your private information does not end up in the wrong hands. And just to protect your identity, protect your privacy. Make sure you do that. All right, so that's it. Those were 5 things that you can do with an old phone. So if you have any questions, let me know. Hit me up down in the comments. And as always, stay tuned.